Hello there, everyone. I just realized it's perfectly in frame. Anyways, we are going to be looking at a episode 39 or 40, I believe 39, of a scenario where civilization starts over. As I just said, we are on episode 39, and in the last video... Wait, what happened in the last video? I know one thing, and that was that Ireland united. That's all I remember. Another thing that happened was... some nuclear alliances were made, as well as more countries gaining nukes. Those countries being the Netherlands, Belgium, Greece, Rome, the Franco-Iberians. Are there any international ones? Nope. Anyways, France and the Franco-Iberians. The Franco-Iberians having the most, the French having second most, Rome having third most, and the rest having one. And did anything else happen? Did any economic alliances get made? Let me see. I feel like I don't remember if the hexagon and triangle alliances were made last video or before that. Anyways, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, then that's perfectly fine. Anyways, how about we just get on with this? And the first thing that we're going to be seeing is actually going to be not a unification. But it's going to be a slight government change. Because if we go over to the ideology layer, and then we go over to here, you can see that two nations are senates, two are democracies, one's a monarchy, and one is an aristocracy, I think that is. No, that's an oligarchy. Aristocracy is not even on there. Anyways, one of them is going to be changing ideologies. And that is Galicia to a monarchy. And why did they change, you might be asking? Well, they didn't. They didn't want to. Instead, something surprising happened. And I bet none of you are going to expect it. Let me just turn off the ideology layer. Anyways, the thing that happened, these four provinces are going to be breaking away in order to reform the old Iberians. And old Iberians, I mean like these light blues. Also, this isn't an invading force of the Franco-Iberians because it looks a bit similar. And if I just made it a bit darker, then it would literally be an invading force. So I just thought I should let you guys know. But if we go on technology, you guys can see that these guys are a dark blue, which is the most advanced. But that also means that the rebellious areas have the most advanced areas. Hell, if we go over to the city layer, they actually have a decent amount, having 7 cities, with the Iberians having 12, so having half the cities and roughly half the population. But they're probably going to be able to change that very quickly, because they start a push into the this city over here, and they also begin pushing down from this one to try and up from this one to try and cut them in two, and it actually goes well. Although they literally just the troops who are stuck here just... Yeah, they literally just go around and then... kaboom. And then... they begin getting kicked back, but another area decides to break away, and it's actually a worse area. Because this province is going to be breaking away. Kaboom. Yeah, this province is going to be breaking away from the Iberians. Also, I slightly changed the border because I realized I didn't follow a province. Anyways, these guys are also going to be breaking away from... Let me just check that it actually does follow the provinces. Okay, yeah. Anyways, yeah, these guys are going to be breaking away. And that really, tips the scale. Because now you can see that this is getting very bad for the new Iberians. The pink Galicians. You know, these can be the Iberian reformists. These can be just the Iberians. The Iberians begin pushing into the reformists, making a larger, gateway for troops to go past. And they do end up retreating from everywhere west of this. Let's see if it follows any rivers, because I haven't actually used a river layer in a while. Oh, there's no rivers. Also, I'm just going to turn up the thing to full opacity. Yeah, there's not really any rivers except one, but that doesn't really matter. Anyways, all this gets abandoned, and well, not really abandoned, but like they don't focus on here, and that's mainly so that they can focus on their main like core areas. They begin pushing into this area, and you know, I'm actually going to give the reformists a capital. That doesn't mean that they're going to become a country, but it's just for now. I'm going to put it right here. So the Iberians aim for this capital, as you can see as they're invading into this province. They begin their march on this city, which they actually managed to take. And they get very close to this city, which, you know what, I'm going to give it a name. The city of, actually, one moment. I asked ChatGPT to give me a name, and they now gave me a name. The city, like, this is Solviera. So they begin They begin marching on Solviera, and actually do surprisingly well, until they decide to do what the reformers decide to do what they did, and retreat past the city. But it's a bit too late. The Solvieran province falls. But the Iberians, the reformists, don't give up. They manage to cut these guys off, and after a while, like, it's gonna just be hard for this to work. So, we see the Iberians, I'm leaving this so I can colour it in. We see the Iberians decide, actually, hold on. The Iberians decide to let these guys have it. That looks free. Have independence. But that's because they know that they're going to lose, and it's either they lose or it's going to be taking a long, long time. And they'd rather just give them independence now than fight a very long war. So this peace treaty is going to be the Treaty of Gibraltar. And let's see what the TOG will look like. This is what the Treaty of Gibraltar will look like, and as you can see, they lose the Galicians lose 4 provinces, and they lose 6 cities. Yeah, 6. Anyways, if we go over to, if I just start off the province layer, and also the city layer, because it's a bit crowded, and instead we go over to the economical alliance layer, I'm going to have to move that circle, because it's a very large circle. Ta-da! But apart from that, we're also going to be seeing a war, so I guess I'm going to have to turn the city layer back on, as well as the river layer, because this one actually has rivers. That's the counties layer. I don't know why I have the province layer and I have the counties layer. I don't know why I have 2. I deleted the counties layer. Anyways, here it is. This is actually going to be a war between 2 countries that are not in an economic alliance, nor in a military alliance. And it's actually going to be between the monarchist and democratic Iberians. I'm actually going to turn off the province layer. The democratic Iberians, I'm actually going to make this a bit lighter. Okay, that's good. The democratic Iberians begin pushing down into the the monarchical Iberians, as they didn't actually think that they were going to go to war anytime soon. But they thought wrong. And this city very quickly gets encircled. And it falls. And now this country doesn't actually have naval access, which is something that they wanted in the peace treaty of World War One, but they never actually gained it. And as you can see, if I turn on the province layer, they would only need 1 or 2 provinces, either gaining both of these or just this. But then they would be 1 province away from the capital of the Andalusians and the Gibraltars, which is why they didn't get it. But yeah, they begin getting pushed into further. Eventually, they reach this river and manage to take everything north of it. Oh, my laptop nearly broke by falling. I don't know why it's doing this so much. Anyways, once they reach this river, they don't actually progress because they physically can't. So they just decide to they basically just decide to just take what they have and go. And I'm actually gonna make some new provinces just so that it like follows the river a bit. Okay, yeah, that looks good. The Democratic Iberians are gonna just be taking like what I just showed. So if I turn off the river so I can properly see it, as well as the seas, these guys gain all of this, but not the weird part that for some reason is sticking into Andalusia and no Gibraltar. They gain everything that they currently have, as well as these new provinces. So good job, you. But finally moving away from Iberia, which actually hasn't had much happen to it at all since World War One, we're going to be moving down here to Madagascar. Because, as you know, I believe it's the... Yeah, these guys are what I believe is an ethno-state, as they have the same religion as they have a government. And I believe they are a theocracy, if I can find the layer. Here it is. Yep, they are a theocracy. And they are going to be creating an alliance. And if I get the layer up, as well as the ideology layer up, because this is going to be important, it's going to be made between a few certain countries. Let me see if this shape's been used yet. Has it been used? I don't think this is being used currently. Hold on, let me just... Okay, I don't think it's being used. Anyway, it's going to be made between Madagascar, Tanzania, is going to be made with Slovakia. It is going to be made with not this country, because they're already in one. It is going to, oh yeah, I forgot I made China communist. It's also going to be made with this country right here, like this country. And it's going to be made with this Amazonian country. Now, let me just quickly color all of these in. Oh, these guys are already in an alliance. No, they're not. Anyways, what are these guys? So these lot all have one thing in common. And I'm going to give you a minute to figure it out. And by a minute, I mean I'm going to blatantly show you what it is. They're all theocracies. Now, there's one theocracy in the world that didn't join, and that's these guys. And that's mainly because I didn't want there to just be a random one in Central Asia. So, yeah. We now have a new alliance. And apart from that, we're actually going to be seeing some more stuff happen. And that is, first of all, I'm going to be turning off the promise layer. Because the next thing that's going to be happening is we are going to be seeing more Antarctic claims. The first one is Antarctica's, I mean, Norway's Antarctica claim. And that is going to be all of this, and by claim I mean like what they're currently just gaining from like exploring and like going and being like, this is mine now. Anyways, these guys also get it. Like, what I originally thought was Uruguay, but now I don't think it is Uruguay. They are going to be gaining these areas. Patagonia is going to be gaining everything that is here. If I can just color it incorrectly. Okay, that's good. Next, the South Africans, I think that's South Africa. Yep. They are going to be gaining some land, but not too much. They are going to be gaining this. Actually, no, I'm going to make it a bit more. They're going to be gaining this. Tasmania, oh my god, I actually got it right first try. Tasmania is going to be gaining this. Also, it doesn't help that they're a decently similar color. Anyways, finally, New Zealand's going to be gaining some land. It's just going to be like this. Anyways, going off of the regular layer, we're actually going to be going onto the LS layer. Because we're going to be seeing 2 countries join. Not as many as I think you guys would want there to be, but there's still going to be a few. This is just to check something. Yeah, the fact that there's just like a part that isn't colony just persists, good to know. Anyways, the countries that are going to be joining, the first country is going to be in Europe, and I lied, it's not going to be in Europe. As first of all, I'm actually going to get rid of this, and I'm actually going to move this. Second of all, I'm going to just move this. Anyways, the first country that's going to be joining, it's actually going to not be over here because everyone over here is in it. The first country that's going to be joining is going to be... Actually, no, first of all, in the tree of like when Greece lost this land, all these guys have to join despite only Cyprus being in it, but oh well. As well as these guys needing to be in it. I feel like it would just make more sense that an LSSC member would make them. Anyways, first country that's going to be joining is going to be this previously Norwegian colony. And the second one is going to be this banana colony. And if we go over to here, something very surprising is going to be happening. I'm going to be making a new star for a certain someone. And that's because they are going to be joining in on the Security Council. In fact, 2 new countries are going to be joining. First one is going to be the NOH. And I'm just going to give them this lovely shape. And the second one is going to be the Yemenis Union. That fits absolutely perfectly. Actually, I don't even remember what ideology they are. Oh, the Yemenis Republic. Anyways, I actually think that's going to be the last thing for this video. Sorry this video has been a bit of a short one. Well, not a bit of a short one. I'm sorry like I haven't been recording too much recently. I'm nearly at half term, which means I'm going to have a whole week to record. So yeah, don't worry, I'm going to be recording again soon, like quite often. Anyways, let me just get this centered, just so it looks nice. I don't know what the hell oh god. Anyways, this is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you again in the next video. Goodbye.